Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pop Cultured Podcast. Welcome. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Joe Labone, who is currently going by the name Ridiculous today because he couldn't think up anything better. So I just chose a name for him.
Very fitting, too.
We are also joined, as always, by the pop-cultured kitten, the strong, silent, and adorable member of our party, who's just hanging out in the bottom corner there. And, as a special treat, in place of our usual co-host, Noah, from Something for Every Nerd, we have Kofi of Kofi Coffee fame. He made it, he produces it, it's delicious, and you should drink some. And it is definitely not a ripoff of Overwatch in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, definitely not just a joke that spawned from Kofi Oromo.
Yeah, which is definitely not a coffee shop that you can find in Ilios.
And a lot of places, not just Ilios.
Oh yeah, because they have like a Starbucks version in Oasis.
Yeah, it's in like Numbani. There's one in Oasis. They're everywhere. Everywhere.
I'm expanding my empire.
Yes, Kofi is slowly expanding his empire.
Kofi
Anyway,
Oromo is the Starbucks of
There will
Overwatch.
probably be one in Blizzard World, you know.
oh yeah, oh my God, I would love
know
that.
If there was. I looked
there
around
should
on
be.
the PTR. I don't think there was.
There should be. That's all I'm gonna
It'll
say
be,
about that.
Like a
There should
snack
be.
part.
Right next
Anyway.
to Snacks Random.
Thank you to everyone who's already in the chat. I see there are a lot of you already here. Thank you all for joining us for another Pop Cultured. I'm glad to have you all. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So let's see what we got on our news board for the week. First of all, I should point out that some of this news is a little bit old, only because obviously we didn't have the podcast last week. I'm not gonna point fingers, but it was me. That was on me. I was asleep. I'm working 12-hour shifts, and I'm a terrible person. And now that that's established, we can move on. But the first thing that we got on our list, it looks like, is the Steam Awards. So you guys want to talk about that? Or,
Here's
I don't
the
know.
thing.
Do they still have that
I
going?
don't remember
or-
any of the things or what I nominated for them.
Here's what's hilarious. Well, I just remember it was like a whole bunch of weird categories anyway, because that's what the Steam Awards is.
They were kind
But
of weird.
I remember there was the Mom Spaghetti Award.
yeah, which had the weirdest description on it. I was just like, what the hell is that supposed to be?
Well, it's a reference to the Eminem song.
What?
You know the Eminem song? I can't remember what it's called. One Shot or Shot.
Look,
One Shot.
saying it's an Eminem song helps me in no way.
That's fair.
I'm sorry.
That's where the Mom Spaghetti meme comes from.
I know everyone's just like, yo, Eminem, he's super cool. And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I've listened to him before. Can't name a single song. Sorry, that's just me. But what's funny is if you go to Steam right now and you go to the store, it's like, the Game Awards are tonight. So it has nothing about the Steam Awards. It's just like, yo, the actual Game Awards are tonight. You can watch it live on Steam, apparently, beginning at 5:30 p.m. PST.
PST. So that's 6:30 Mountain Time, 7:30 Central Time, and 8:30 Eastern Time. However, I don't know the other time zones of the world and how they relate to Pacific Time off the top of my head.
Well, let's see. Greenwich Mean Time is 5 hours ahead of us, which means that what is Pacific Time? Is it 4 hours ahead of us right now?
That's 3 hours behind us. So
Behind
it'd
us,
be 8
okay.
hours ahead of that,
Yeah,
which means that it would be like what even
2:30 in the morning,
2:30 in the morning or something. Yeah,
something
No,
like
no.
that. No,
Who
like
cares?
3:30 in the morning. Look,
something like that. Late.
whatever. The point is, it's late/early/whatever. Anyway, we could rehash the Game Awards, but we talked about that before. we already went through our picks and everything. Kofi, of course, was not here for that, so he didn't get to share his picks. But would you like to share your picks, Kofi? You can. Now's your chance.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what my picks were because I just looked up a YouTube video of someone that shows all the categories. We've got the World is Grim Enough, Let's Just Get Along award, which I think I
this
gave
is
to
Steam
like
Awards.
Stardew Valley.
Oh, you got the Steam Awards pulled up. But what'd you vote
Steam
for the
Awards.
Game Awards?
Oh, for the Game Awards?
Were there any
Yeah.
like what was your pick for game of the year?
Definitely not PUBG. It hasn't been released yet.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, I don't even know why we're saying thank you so emphatically. I'm pretty sure we all agreed on that the last round.
Yeah, but I think Noah still voted for it.
I think he may have.
Noah.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the only game I played.
To be honest, for Game of the Year, I was stuck between Breath of the Wild and Horizon, but I played Breath of the Wild and it was good. Don't get me wrong, but I've seen just like this beautiful atmosphere from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, absolutely. It's a
even though I
beautiful
haven't
game.
played it, I voted for Horizon.
Yeah. I think I may have too. Did I? I don't remember. I either voted for that or Breath of the Wild. I was between the same two.
I think you voted for Breath of the Wild.
I think I did, which I now have. Even though I don't
have a Switch to play it on.
to play it
No,
on.
Breath of the Wild.
Because if I buy the game, then I have to eventually force myself to buy a Switch to play it on.
Exactly.
Also,
That's how
the
you do
collector's edition was on sale for Black Friday. And it has the map and the Explorer's Guide in it, both of which
However,
were
I'll
things
say
I
that
wanted.
That doesn't always work. I have a copy of Super Mario Maker, but I don't own a Wii U.
To be
And I
fair,
probably won't.
yeah, no, I don't blame you for that. Although, I'm pretty sure you can get Super Mario Maker on the Switch now. I think they're porting
Well,
it
it doesn't be
over.
a lot of good with the Wii U copy I have.
Well, I don't know, friend. I don't know what to say. I have a disturbing trend though in the past couple
I'll go get
consoles.
4 cents for it from GameStop.
I have a disturbing trend that I buy games first and then I buy the consoles.
I could.
This is a trend. You've done it before?
I did it with the Wii because I really wanted Epic Mickey, but I didn't
Oh, I thought you were
want
going to say Skyward Sword.
Oh no, Skyward Sword was the reason that I bought the Wii. Like the reason that I actually broke down and bought the Wii was for Skyward Sword. But I really liked Epic Mickey and the look of it, and I wanted to play it. But my grandma actually had a Wii because she liked Wii bowling, and she also got
Yeah.
Zumba for the Wii, which is stupid, by the way. Wii Zumba is the worst. But I ended up buying myself a copy, and then I would go over to my grandparents' house and play it. But then I felt guilty because I was really just going to my grandparents' house
You
to
were
play
going to
the
your
Wii instead of
grandparents' house just to
actually
use the
visiting my
Wii.
grandparents, which is a terrible thing to do. So I ended up, buying my own Wii. But that was after Skyward Sword came out, and I was just like, "Oh, I have to have that."
This is why I buy it. All right, that's fair.
That's like I was at the Exchange earlier. Have you ever been to the Exchange?
Yeah.
Kofi, do you have anything like do you have exchanges? I don't know if it's a local thing. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I
It's
don't
like
know.
this. It's
It's
this
like GameStop,
store-
but better.
Yeah, they just have tons of
GameStop's
games.
about all we got.
They have. You can go there and you can get PlayStation 1 games, GameCube, Wii U, Wii, PS2, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360. And they have DVDs and records and music and everything there. But you can, if you can't find something there, I was in there earlier today getting records for my brother-in-law because he collects them, and they had NES games, SNES games, N64 games. You could buy the consoles too. It was awesome. I love the Exchange. I have a card there.
That's right. That's where I bought my copy of Shaq Fu
Shaq Fu. Oh my god.
for the Sega Genesis. One of my proudest possessions. I also saw a copy of ET for the Atari. I'm like, I'll wait until next time I'm here. Next time I went, it was gone. And I'm like, no, I could have owned it.
Yeah, dude. You should have got it when you had the chance. That's for some reason, for the past 3 times I've gone to the Exchange, I've seen Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition, which was this thing they made for the GameCube that has Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and the first 2 games on it. And I'm just like, I really need to pull that trigger and get that so I can finally play those games.
You should. It'll be gone. And if you ever see ET for the Atari, you should grab it for me.
Yeah. No.
I can add it to my terrible games collection along with Shaq Fu and Sonic 06.
You should have just went and picked one up whenever they dug up all those ET cartridges in the desert.
I know.
5
This was
years ago.
before they did that, too. So this was like, it was still like really rare. Maybe not that rare, but rarer than it is now.
I don't think you can play any of those consoles that they dug up in the desert. Like, I'm pretty sure those are unplayable. Well, to be fair, the game is unplayable, but
The game was already unplayable. But
those pixel perfect pit traps that if a corner of his head touches. Did you know that? There's like it's like in the game there are pit traps for ET, but they made it pixel perfect. So if like a pixel of his head touches like the bottom corner, he goes in. Yeah, it is so terrible. It's such a terrible game.
It's a bad game. It's bad. Shaq Fu, great game. It's just dumb.
Yeah. Shaq Fu is weird. Anyway, yeah, so that was the Game of the Year picks. And
Shaq Fu, Game of the Year.
Shaq Fu, Game of the Year. Spider-Man, great game.
Spider-Man, great game.
I think
Great
Spider-Man's actually up for something.
It's not out yet.
No, but it was up for like most anticipated game.
It was up for most
that's what it
anticipated.
was.
I voted for it for that, I think.
Yeah, because I remember Noah went on a really long tirade about how Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't included. Just like 20 minutes of why isn't this in there? Question.
Best handheld, best VR.
Love you now.
So, Infinity War trailer?
Pink.
Yes.
How about that fantastic segue? Did you see what I did there? I just mentioned the next topic.
Yeah, that works. That works as a transition. Yeah, so the new Infinity War trailer dropped last week, I think. Was it?
I mean, it was pretty recently. I think it was last Thursday.
Something like that. Oh, it was so good.
It was really good.
You got Captain America, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, Hulk,
Thor.
Pink, yes.
Pink.
Thor. That was the best part. Was Thor was just like, "Who the hell are you?" And then he turns around and it's just
the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Perfect. Although a lot of people have been taking that screenshot of Thanos from the beginning, like without the helmet on or anything, and just like turning him into different people.
It's such a meme. My favorite one was Homer Simpson.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
The first trailers or whatever, you see Thanos and he's like a deep purple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he looks menacing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess a lot of that
It's the light. It's the lighting. Though. He's sitting in like a dark room, and now he's in like just sunlight.
That's true, but it also doesn't help that he's like not wearing his armor. Like he looks so much more imposing in like his gold-plated armor with the cape, and like in the trailer like, he's wearing like a bulletproof vest. He's wearing like a bulletproof vest, and that's it.
That's really
my god.
Sun's out, guns out.
I guess. I don't know. But then he just like I don't know. He's ripping
boost Kofi a bit.
I can try.
Kofi's pretty quiet. Oh no.
But yeah, he's very underdressed for the occasion.
Yes, it's true. Except for the gauntlet.
Except for that, but that's all he needs. That's the best part, that he has the gauntlet.
I mean, yeah, that's all he really needs, but still, like, his look is pretty iconic. And to be just like, I'm just going to wear a black t-shirt. It's just like,
yeah.
All right, sure.
I'm going to wear this black tank top.
I saw somewhere that I think it might have been a theory, but someone was saying like he's not wearing his armor because he considers that the Earth the Earth is so easy that he doesn't even require.
That's probably it. He's probably just coming in like, I don't even need it. Here I am.
I mean, he is kind of a dick.
Yeah, very much. Ego is what's going to get him.
Well,
not ego. Ego's dead.
Let's see. Because there's one part where he was ripping the one stone out of Vision's forehead.
Yeah.
So let's see. Because Kofi, you mentioned something about this beforehand, that one of the stones was still missing.
Yes, actually.
There's one we just haven't even seen in the MCU.
Or have we?
Well, let's see. There was the Time Stone, which was in the Eye of Agamotto. Then there was the Space Stone. Was that the Tesseract? Was that what the Space Stone was? Okay.
I thought, the Space Stone's a Tesseract. The Power Stone from Guardians of the Galaxy.
The Power Stone. The Reality Stone was in Thor: Dark World, correct? Yeah,
that's the Ether.
Yeah. So which one is missing? Space, reality, time.
Space Stone. We have
the Mind Stone from Vision, but there is a sixth stone.
The sixth stone is the Soul Stone.
Yeah, but is that actually part of the Infinity Gauntlet, or is that kind of like the one that dips in and out?
Because
I thought there was one stone.
That's the big one, right?
If you happen to look at the Infinity Gauntlet, it's the one that's like on the hand itself, because the rest of them are on the knuckles.
Knuckles.
Yeah, and people have theorized that, and it actually seems to work, that each letter in Thanos' name corresponds to each Infinity Stone. And I'm trying to remember what it was, but it's like the T in Thanos is Tesseract, the A is Aether, the N is oh gosh, what was it?
Necklace for. I would have thought the A would have been for Agamotto.
I'm trying to find it because I know. Well, here's one that
this is falling apart real quick.
So
is
the
what
T
we're saying.
is the T is Tesseract, the A is Aether, the O is the Orb for the Power Gem, the S is for Scepter.
Okay, for the Mind Stone.
The N for Necklace, which is the Time Gem, and H, which is the Soul Gem. People have actually theorized that it's Heimdall.
Heimdall is
like the guy who runs the
Idris
Bifrost?
Elba. Idris Elba is an Infinity Stone.
You mean the best character in the MCU? The guy who runs, the badass who runs the Bifrost, who's just like, I know everything, I see everything.
If you
I'm going to crush the bridge.
The Soul Gem,
God, I love him.
Its description is that it has control over the souls of everything in the universe.
Yes.
And Heimdall can see all of the souls and in the universe. What people are theorizing is that he has it. He just chooses to not use it for evil purposes.
He just uses it for a very specific purpose.
Yeah.
That is a really cool theory.
And Heimdall's color scheme and the color scheme of the Soul Gem are the same.
Gold?
Yep.
Pretty common color.
His eyes are like real gold. Yeah.
That'd be a.
He's just.
That'd be a cool twist. But I don't want him to kill Heimdall.
He's just such a badass. Look, Heimdall won't go down without a fight. If anything, here's what I think. If it's somewhere on Heimdall, it's gotta be like embedded in his sword, because God,
or
that
it's
man
embedded in his soul.
Like that time that he just like destroyed the bridge, and he just did like a.
Just everything about Heimdall. So cool.
I love it. It's so good.
There's two places people are theorizing that the Soul Gem exists. There's one in his armor, and if you actually look up a picture, there is a yellow-orange type gem in the center of his armor. And people are also theorizing it could be his eyes.
Possibly. Yeah.
So it's a lot of theories.
I mean, the biggest thing to me is like the rest of that feels pretty sketch. Like
there is like
for the power and
the
N for necklace because it's the Eye of Agamotto. Like the rest of that theory seems pretty sketch.
It's a bit of a stretch, but I could dig it.
It's also one of those things like Whenever I watched Doctor Strange and they were just like, ah, yes, the Eye of Agamotto is actually the Time Stone. And I'm just like, no, it's a mystical artifact from someone named Agamotto.
Yeah, but they have to tie it into the MCU, so it works.
I know.
They've made a lot of changes like that, right?
Yeah, and it's not like they're canon to comic books or anything. It's
it's canon unto itself, but that's it.
And you know what? They tried really hard to make the canon work and to avoid weird, trippy, like, mess ups.
Oh, if they made it like pure canon,
Fake.
then Thanos would have already won. Because everything that goes into the Infinity Gauntlet is like multiplied by 1,000.
Yeah. No. Well, and that's how they beat him too, is they just like trick him into like, I bet you could beat us without wearing the gauntlet. You're not powerful enough to beat us without the gauntlet. And he's just like, let me show you. And he takes it off, and then they're just like, aha! And then
Quick, grab it!
They take the gauntlet.
Spider-Man just web slings it to him.
It's beautiful. Although they
Just
did,
like caption.
I remember one time they did a really cool thing in one of the animated series where it was like they had him use each stone individually in the gauntlet, and then they got like the resonance of each stone, and then they were able to break apart the Infinity Gauntlet by like getting the resonance for each stone, which was a really cool idea.
Yeah.
But no, most of the time they just like trick him into like giving up the gauntlet somehow.
Yeah. My least favorite of the changes to the Infinity Stones in the MCU is probably the Ether, though.
Yeah.
How so?
The Space Stone. It's not even a stone.
It's kind of like
It's this like amorphous thing.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that one's
Isn't
the
that
reality
real?
stone.
yeah.
Yeah, but like still.
I
it's
mean,
like,
yeah, I get what you're saying, that it's weird that
every
it's just like
single
not
other
a stone.
one is a stone. And
But
it's just like, no, it's a thing.
Yeah, the only thing with that, the only justification I can think of for that is because it's the reality stone. I mean, it like bends reality around
it's
itself.
fine. That's the one I hate the most. Like you mentioned the Eye of Agamotto. I'm like, yeah, I get that, but the Ether's being the reality stone.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, as far as what we know, we see him in the trailer with two of the stones, the Power Stone and the Space Stone.
Right.
Which means, Loki probably gives him the Tesseract.
He just hands it over.
I mean,
That's you.
that's kind of what we see in the trailer too.
He
when
has
he's
it
like,
again. That's the thing. I saw this really hilarious cartoon that someone made where it was just like Loki had the Tesseract and Thor just walks up and like knocks it out of his hand. It's like, no.
Well, if you
He's
saw
just like,
Thor
don't steal
Ragnarok,
it again.
if you saw Thor Ragnarok, you kind of understand how and why he got the Tesseract.
Well, yeah, but
Great movie. Go see it.
It's a great movie. Go see it. I don't want to spoil it, but it does show you why Loki has the Tesseract in the Infinity War trailer. But yeah, so he has that stone he probably got from Loki, and then he has the Power Stone, which means the Nova Corps is probably not doing so hot.
yeah.
Since they were the ones in charge of protecting the Power Stone.
Great
probably why
job,
the
Nova
Guardians
Corps.
might be heading toward Earth, or it might be because they hit Thor
Wait,
on their way.
Power Stone?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Power
yeah,
Stone.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Collector has the
He has the Reality Stone.
reality.
Here's what I want. Big, huge battle against Thanos, and then out of nowhere, Jessica Jones dropping from the sky.
You know,
Don't even need
The
Luke Cage or
possibility of
Iron
someone
Fist or Daredevil or any of them.
Captain
Just need
Marvel
Jessica
is
Jones.
probably going to show up in a post-credits scene.
Adam
true.
Warlock might show up.
Adam Warlock might show up?
Yeah, at the end
Oh,
of
yeah.
what is it?
I saw
Guardians
something
2.
about that.
Right! I forgot that was Adam Warlock.
Yep.
Yeah. Who else?
what
they
else?
got?
Oh, we
They got
see
the
him
Black
taking-
Panther movie coming up.
We also
I
see
wanna
him
see that.
taking the Mind Stone from Vision.
Right.
Yeah.
And according to IMDb, Benicio del Toro is in the movie as the Collector, so we'll probably see him get the Ether or something.
Cool.
Which just leaves the Eye of Agamotto.
I really want the Collector and the Games Master to come across each other.
That would be an interesting conversation.
Ian Malcolm and Benicio del Toro. That actually reminds me of another thing, which is, did you see Ian Malcolm will be in the new Jurassic Park movie?
I did, because you told me like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, they'd had a little featurette, and he was in like some sort of congressional hearing, and he was just like, here I am talking about dinosaurs again. Meta. Meta. Yeah. Good job, Jeff Goldblum.
Perfect.
Spot on.
I'm excited for the new Jurassic World movie. I don't know at all what it's going to be about.
I don't know. From the featurette, it kind of sounded like they were doing a thing where it was like they were trying to destroy the island. Finally. Get rid of the island.
Finally. Wait, is this the same island that every single Jurassic movie is placed on?
The first three took place on 2 different islands.
Right. There was
the first one was on one, and the second 2 were on the other.
Right, because there was the actual island, which name I don't remember the actual name of, and then there was Site B, which was the second island, and that was like where they raised the dinosaurs before they brought them over to Jurassic Park.
I know it was like Isla Nublar in Isla Sorno. I just don't remember which one's which.
I think Nublar was the actual park, and then the other one was Site B. Yeah. So,
and then Jurassic World was built on the ashes of the first park.
Yeah, so the first movie takes place on Isla Nublar? Whatever.
I think it's Sorno.
Isla Nublar and Isla Sorna.
The point is, first movie happens in the actual park, second and third movies happen at Site B, Jurassic World happens back on the original island.
Yeah, Jurassic
Park. Which was cool, because it was the first time we went back
to the original island.
Yeah.
That was the first time we got to go back. That was cool.
When last we saw it, a T-Rex was raging through the visitor center.
T-Rex ruled it.
What were you going to say about Jurassic
World?
World?
Like Jurassic World, but I
loved it.
I loved it.
I mean,
I didn't see it.
I felt like the lead actress, I feel like they made her character a little too stuck up in a way.
Her character was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing for me about Jurassic World was, I was just like, why would you do it again? Like in the continuity of this series,
in Jurassic World, that park had been accident free for 15 years.
Oh, really? I didn't realize it was that long.
Right, but
something like that.
I get that they had the park up and running, and it was like an actual functional park at that point.
But why would you start it again?
Yeah, exactly. You had
because it's cool.
Because in the continuity, you had a failed park, a Site B that released a T-Rex on San Francisco, and then another incident. Where someone dropped onto the island and they had to go and rescue them. And the military showed up. So it's not like any of these incidents were not public incident. In the second movie, it was like they hid what happened during the first one. No one believed anyone about the dinosaurs and all that until the thing in San Francisco happened.
Until there's a T-Rex raging through San Francisco.
Right. So you had at least 3 separate public incidents involving dinosaurs, and they were just like, you know what? We should give this another chance.
Should do it again.
Cause money.
Well, it was none of the same people though, right? So
I don't know, but it's still the point stands.
It was that, Maserati.
If it failed,
What's his name? Maserati. Maserati's a car.
I'm just saying, 3 major incidents. You should not decide to go back and do it again.
I get it. I just want the next one to not be we're destroying that. It's guys, we got the new park up and running.
Oh my god.
Everything's good.
I'd be so done. I'd be like, no. No to all of it.
Man, the dinosaur technology came a long way, and those fences just did not improve.
Yeah, fix your damn electric fences. That was the biggest gripe I had with the first one too. Is the setup for it. It's just first of all, you have this. That part where Newman, because I don't remember the actor's actual name, so I'm gonna call him Newman. Where Newman was sitting at the cafe, and the guy walks up, and he's like, "Hey, Carlson," or whatever his name was. And he's just like, "Don't say that. I don't want anyone to recognize me." He's like, "Carlson, we got Carlson here." See, nobody
Yeah,
cares. And I'm like,
nobody
thank you,
cares.
Newman. That's exactly how I feel right now. I don't know who this guy is or why he wants the dinosaurs. This is just subplot
Exactly.
setup for the park failing later.
Then he gives him the Barbasol can.
He eats. He eats the
He
barbasol.
doesn't eat it. He does eat a little Barbasol. That was funny.
He like puts it on
Anyway.
his pie. Anyway, the point is that like it was a pretty shoddy setup for Jurassic Park, and Jurassic World is also weird. Anyway, Disney
Speaking of theme parks,
is building a new park in Tokyo. They actually already have some parks in Tokyo. As a matter of fact, they have Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea something or other.
yeah, Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yeah, and what's really funny about those parks is Disney like just kind of let them roll with it. They like let the Japanese do, like they have stuff that's themed around Disney stuff, but they're just like, hey, just kind of like do what you feel. So like the centerpiece for the one park is like a volcano or something. I gotta look it up, but it's something like, where did that come from? Why would there be a volcano? Let me
A
check here.
Hunger Games theme park is on the way.
All right, they have Adventureland, the World Bazaar, Western Land, Critter Country, Fantasyland, Toontown, Tomorrowland. Okay, so Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland is fine. I think it's the Disney Sea.
Tokyo Disney
Yeah,
Sea.
that's the one. Tokyo Disney Sea. It has like a volcano in the middle of it.
Nice.
Because why not?
Nice.
They have the American Waterfront, Port Discovery, Lost River Delta, Arabian Coast, Mermaid Lagoon, Mysterious Island, and Mediterranean Harbor. Interesting.
Yeah, it
Apparently,
looks
also,
like
their Pirates ride is trippy AF. I'll tell
it
you
looks
what.
like the new park though is going to be focused on the culture of Japan and targeted to tourists visiting the country.
Right. So it's kind of like what they did with California Adventure. How California Adventure is... I don't know. I've never been to it, but apparently, according to
California.
Disney, it's supposed to, like, capture the spirit of California.
California Adventure is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I've always heard that it was a really cool park, but I didn't realize that they were capturing the spirit of California.
Doesn't California Adventure have like the Avatar land? No,
No, that's in the Animal Kingdom.
Animal
but
Kingdom
In Disney World.
It is true that opened recently, and I hear that it's pretty cool.
It looks
Also, more on that in a minute.
What, on Avatar Land?
Yeah.
Do you have something to show in Avatar Land?
Well, that goes into the thing about Disney's back in talks with Fox to purchase all their movie rights, which would include Avatar.
Oh, really? That's a Fox
Oh.
movie?
Yep.
Huh.
Is
I didn't
it?
realize that.
Yeah, James Cameron's Avatar.
huh.
Yeah, how'd that even... So, would that mean that they have
Hard.
X-Men back? Like,
Yeah, they
tying
would have
back into the Marvel
X-Men,
stuff?
Fantastic Four.
Oh my
Deadpool.
god,
I saw
Fantastic
some.
Four. That's right. I saw them tweet a thing. Ryan Reynolds tweet a thing about it because he was just like,
Of course he would.
Deadpool and Disney gonna make that sweet, sweet sauce. And I'm just like, God, turn it down.
Oh, Noah is saying the decision should be announced next week on whether they're selling or not. So thank you, Noah, from the
Interesting.
chat.
All right,
Cool
cool.
chat.
Yeah, but since we're on this, I do want to talk about, since we're talking about Disney parks across the world. You want a trippy ride? Check out the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland Paris, because in Disneyland Paris, the way that they have it set up is that their Haunted Mansion is part of their Westworld. Because it's like they tied the two together. It was like there's this whole backstory to the western part. Like, it used to be this thriving gold mine town, and then this giant earthquake hit, and it opened up this place. It's called like Disney Gulch or something like that. But it's like this giant fissure they cracked up through the town, and like up on the hill there was this guy who lived with his daughter, and it was like he was like the big landowner, and she wanted to run away with the guy, but the dad didn't like him, but the dad died, but then she was like trapped in the house by this phantom who may or may not have been her dad, or maybe just like some evil spirit, and like the phantom like killed the groom, distracted him, something, I don't know, but the point is that she like lived out the rest of her life in the house, and now she's like the bride trapped in the house, so like you have to help her, but she's also helping you like stay away from the phantom. It's like a really cool story, but it's weird. It's like a lot darker than the other Haunted Mansion rides. Like the other ones are just like, hey, this is just a house full of ghosts, and it's a little creepy, but it's also cool because they're all just partying in the graveyard. And then this one's like, no, there's like a murder ghost in this house, and you need to get away from it. And I'm just like, what is going on? Disney, what is happening? Good Lord.
Also, quick backtrack to Ryan Reynolds. He's gonna be Detective Pikachu.
Oh my God, yes. This was a whole conversation about this.
I still wanted Danny DeVito.
I still wanted Danny DeVito too. Danny DeVito would be hilarious.
I don't think he was ever like a serious pick for the role. I think everyone's just like, what if Danny DeVito did it? And then it's like, yes.
Everyone on the internet was real into it. And then nothing. Nothing ever came of it. It's very sad.
Yeah.
I need to look up
that
a
was
video
the
of this.
lie we had on that part of this story. Do you want to talk about everyone's favorite punching bag for the season?
Oh, you mean Battlefront 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ron?
So, yeah. Battlefront 2, right? It's Star Wars month anyway, because December is now apparently officially the month for Star Wars stuff, because that's what Disney decided, and we all abide by their rules. But yeah, The Last
Especially
Jedi.
by Fox. They will own so much more
Yes,
of the
they
market
will.
share. They're that much closer to controlling our lives.
It's true. Everything will be Disney-fied. We can't swear anymore. It'll be real sad.
Never again.
Oh,
But
well,
we'll have lots of singing animals, so
True, and life will be a
trade-offs.
musical. I'll take it.
it'll be like that episode of Family Guy where they accidentally teleported into
The
Disney
Disney-esque world.
They sang a song about pie.
Okay for pie.
Yeah. It's great. Anyway, Star Wars month. Last Jedi coming out on the 15th, which everyone is real hyped for. And Battlefront 2 will be releasing the Last Jedi season sometime this month. I don't think, maybe they're releasing it the 15th to like coincide.
How much will
with
it
but
cost?
It will actually be free.
What?
Yeah, because that was actually EA's thing with Battlefront 2 was that they said that there would be no paid DLC. In place of that,
In place of that, we're going to
pay
for
win.
every other aspect of the game.
Yeah, no.
At least there's no paid DLC. That's a positive. They didn't do both.
So obviously people are still talking about this because a lot of people
There's
are
a
just
massive
saying like,
boycott.
Oh,
There's
well-
a lot of people boycotting the game. Like, you can go to a lot of stores now, and you will just see shelves filled with Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Well, EA's stock prices fell like $3 billion.
yeah, it was a crazy amount. And it was actually funny. I was at Best Buy on Black Friday. And
Oh, Noah thinks the Last Jedi thing's out now.
Oh, is it out now? Oh, that's actually cool.
I'm gonna look it up.
He thinks.
But
He's on the case.
I was out at Best Buy on Black Friday, and I was back in the game section, kicking around, buying my copy of Breath of the Wild, and
Yeah, as you do.
there was a shelf
it is
full
out.
of, there was a shelf full of Battlefront games, and there was this dad who was just trying to buy something for his kid, and the Best Buy employee like helping him out. He's just like, "So you know that there's a controversy around this game, right?" He's like,
Oh,
tell me
no!
more." And and I was just like, because I actually didn't know what they were looking at, so I just kind of like walked by and just kind of like side-eyed down at it.
Yeah.
And it was Battlefront 2, and I walked away very quickly, so I wasn't like laughing behind their backs at it.
Yeah.
Funnily
like,
enough,
oh my God.
I've seen a lot of pictures online of people doing the exact same thing.
What?
There's a lot of people out there during Black Friday being like, no. Don't go for that.
Yeah. Are you sure it was a Best Buy employee or was it just some guy?
No, it was a Best Buy employee. He had like
Okay.
the Best Buy shirt on and everything. And I don't know that he was like discouraging him from buying it, but it was like one of those situations where it was like, yeah, this is dicey. And you know, like, okay, here's the thing. Like, they took out the paid, you can't buy the premium currency anymore, so you can't buy the loot boxes.
You can't buy loot boxes.
But
Yeah.
those loot boxes are still absolutely essential to being better at that game.
Oh yeah.
To like upgrade the weapons or anything. And it was a conversation that I heard on the Co-optional podcast, I think, last week or sometime. They were talking about it, and they were just saying, in a game like that, like, the cards that you add in, they should give you a wider range of weapons, not better weapons. There shouldn't be like an upward progression where it's going to be like a situation where someone's going to just have way better weapons than someone else. Like, you could have more weapons to choose from maybe, but don't give them like better weapons. Anyway, it was funny though. I was making a Twitter video earlier for December, and I was singing video game themed Christmas carols. And there was one for Battlefront, but it was an old one, so I updated it with a new verse. And one of the verses that I added was perhaps we ditch the skins and give Star Cards the boot, but EA cares about canonicity. Oh wait, I'm on Jakku, and it was all sung from like Darth Vader's perspective. And I'm just like, yeah, because they don't want to do skins because they don't want the pink Darth Vader messing up canonicity. But it's okay if he's just fighting on Jakku. That's fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Or you know that massive battle that everyone remembers feed between Yoda and Darth Maul.
Oh yeah, right?
Yeah, everyone remembers that
definitely
fight.
happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the clones and the
It's just the stupidest argument. We don't want to mess with Star Wars canonicity. I think you already did.
yeah, it's like we got. I mean, I don't remember this happening. Just remove Darth Maul from the game then. It's like he didn't do anything.
He wasn't even. Was he even at the Battle of what was it? Theed?
Theed in on Naboo. Well,
Yeah.
Here's the thing: in the movies, there wasn't Battle of Theed
Right.
in Naboo between the clones and the droids. It was the like army of Naboo and the droids.
Let's just
And
say
if
that
there
there
was
are a lot of problems.
he was not around at the same time the clones were, so he shouldn't be in the game at all.
Not to mention, I can't even count the number of times I've been backed up by a cool Lando Calrissian in places where he shouldn't be. Like, there are a
You mean
couple
anywhere
times.
but Cloud City.
Exactly. There are a couple times I've had a clutch Lando Calrissian helping me out in dangerous situations. I'm glad he's there, but he shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
If we're talking canonicity, that doesn't work.
I think EA
What are you talking about?
Actually watched all the movies?
Darth Maul fought on the side of the Separatists against Yoda in the Battle of Theed on Naboo against clone troopers. That happened in the Clone Wars? I don't remember that episode.
I think. he
Anyway,
might
we'll get our
not be
response
there.
in a moment.
Yeah. Whenever Chad catches up with the feed.
I know he was around, but he was not working with the Separatists.
Yeah. He was just doing
Kind of doing his
Darth
own
Maul
thing.
things. And let's be honest, he would never have made a comeback if it weren't for the fact that, like, people like Darth Maul.
People loved
Like,
Darth Maul. Yeah,
he
would've
wouldn't have
just
made
been
a
dead
comeback.
there. But he has a double-bladed lightsaber, though.
No, okay, but okay, I'm going to respond to Noah in the chat real quick, because he's like, obviously multiplayer isn't canon, but that's the point. Like, if you had skins, you're using them in multiplayer. Like, their argument against putting skins in the game is that it messes with canonicity, and I'm like, the multiplayer already isn't canon.
Yeah, it's like
What would it-
there's already
what
no
harm would it
canonicity
do?
here.
So
He
it's
beat
just
Pink
EA.
Darth Vader.
Yeah. It's just EA doing whatever. Which also brings up the point of some data miners found that there was, at some point, a customization menu in Battlefront 2. Now, whether that's something that they plan on putting it
After
eventually...
EA has said it's impossible.
Oh, they said it was impossible? See, I missed that step.
I think... Okay, I might be misquoting. Just remember,
That
don't
would
take
be
anything
hilarious,
you hear
though.
on this podcast as news.
It's true. We get it from everywhere else. But,
Groundbreaking news.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's usually a lot of...
Oh, yesterday, Electronic Arts Chief Financial Officer Blake Jorgensen was asked at an investor panel why customization options did not figure into Battlefront 2's controversial loot crate system, as opposed to using player progression items, which many users have found off-putting. Jorgensen replied that EA was limited by the well-defined Star Wars canon and what it could do to offer with regards to customization. So it's just like, we didn't have a customization menu because we were locked in by canon, even though our multiplayer isn't really canon anyway.
I was going to say, like... Now, I can understand if that is, like, Star Wars being like, hey, we don't want you messing around with stuff. Like, I understand, like, if that is the case, I don't know. Do I think it's the case? Probably not. But if it is, I understand.
Like
maybe they had made this... And we're like, yeah, we're gonna have this, and then there's like, no, you can't do this. So like, okay, well, we'll just not have it accessible.
Yeah,
but it's too late to remove it from the code. It might have been put in late in the development.
Yeah, it still kind of feels like one of those things though, where I feel like Star Wars wouldn't have been like that because they already have the multiplayer where anything goes. So
but yeah, like they could have still given us skins like that. Like, come on, I can't be like. I can't play as a Celestin rebel. Like that's gonna break the canon, even though they were there, as part of the rebellion.
I don't know.
Come on. Or yeah, for heroes, like give us different outfits, like Luke's desert outfit or Leia's Endor outfit, which is what Noah's saying. Like give us other outfits that they actually use in the show, in the movie. It doesn't have to be Pink Vader. Don't get me wrong. I want Pink Vader, though.
It'd be awesome. But
I do want Pink Vader.
What else do we got? Life is Strange. The voice actor strike has ended, which means Ashley Birch is back voicing Chloe Price for a new episode of Life is Strange. She will be voicing it for Life is Strange 2.
Or she's reprising the role partway through Before the Storm.
Yes, that's what this is. So this is a special episode called Farewell of Life is Strange Before the Storm. So this is like before Max left for Seattle. So for those of you familiar with the first game, you'll know that part of the plot line is that Max Caulfield lived in Seattle and she moved back to this town called Arcadia Bay and she ran into her old friend Chloe Price. And Before the Storm happens before all that. And so Hannah Tell, who is the absolutely adorable and wonderful voice behind Max Caulfield, and Ashley Birch, who is the voice behind Chloe Price, have gotten back together to make a new episode for Before the Storm called Farewell, which is just before Max leaves for Seattle. And it's if the featurette I watched of the two of them together in the voice recording booth is anything, it's going to be the most adorable thing you've ever seen in your life. And it will also be a little heartrending because you know exactly what happens.
You know
after.
What's coming. Yeah.
But no. It's beautiful and cute and I'm excited. I don't know when it's coming out, but it looks cool. Cool stuff. And then it looks like the last thing we have is Overwatch in the winter. Guess who's coming back for the winter and featuring
Yeti
the winter
Winston.
event?
It's gotta be
Yeti Winston.
Yeti Winston. And also May.
It's gotta be May.
May getting them new skins. May getting a new game.
Did they say May's getting a new skin?
I don't know what Jeff Kaplan said. It's very hard to watch an entire video of him.
Yeah,
I
don't
apologize,
think they said
Jeff.
May's getting a new skin.
I would be very surprised if she wasn't.
I apologize, Jeff. You talk in such a monotone. It's so hard.
She probably is. There's going to be a new Hanzo skin that was apparently in a comic, which if it's the one from the Christmas comic, it's going to be Hanzo wearing a coat.
Which is impressive. The man
It's
never
like
wears a
street
coat.
clothes Hanzo.
And that would be cool.
He was like about to buy a cake.
For who? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? It's all a mystery.
Who knows?
But what we can say is that May has a new mode. It's going to be called May's Yeti Hunt. Basically, the point is that it will be in Nepal, and 5 Mays will be hunting a Yeti Winston. And
6 Mays.
Oh, is it 6? Oh, I thought he said 5.
6 Mays.
Entire team versus one.
6.
So
Yeah, but Winston's gonna be Buff Boy.
yeah, it's 6 Mays versus a Winston. Winston has to sneak around the map and eat meat while the Mays hunt him. And then after he gets enough meat, he charges his ultimate and he goes into Primal Rage, at which point the Mays must run from the Yeti Winston until presumably his ult ends and then the tables turn again. But basically the game ends when either Yeti Winston goes down or so many Mays go down. I don't know how many, but a certain number. Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't think they specified. They said a number.
They did also say, though, Jeff said that there's a new ability that May has for this called the Ice Trap. I don't know what that is. It's not going to be in the game. It's just going to be specific to this mode. But, yeah. I assume that's like some sort of trap that can be laid for Winston to try to catch him. And then also she can just use her Ice Wall ability. I don't know. It's one of those things, like, I imagine it will probably work like Symmetra's ult, probably. Or like Moira's abilities, how you can kind of like choose one or the other. So it's probably you trigger Ice Trap and then you pick which one.
Probably.
I kind of wonder if they're going to do that with more characters, just based off of like the Symmetra thing, but also how Moira works.
It would be nice. I think it would be nice if for Symmetras they changed it to the Moira method, where left click for teleporter, right click for shield generator.
The Moira method works far better.
I have to hit the alt button again to switch.
Yeah, I cannot tell you how many times I've either laid down a teleporter when I'm in a shield or a shield when I'm in a teleporter, because that's a silly way to do a thing. Yeah, but no, it just seems like they're experimenting with that idea of giving like choices for the fire.
Yeah.
So I think,
which means we'll see some more diverse heroes in the future. Which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, which I'm looking forward to too. And I love Moira. Whenever I get to play her in a game, I've been real hyped about playing Moira.
She is a lot of fun.
She's just an Irish bamf. And that's what I love the most about her. Whenever you listen to her voice lines and she's just like so proper.
She's Irish.
Well, she's like so proper, and then every once in a while she'll say something and it'll just have that like tinge of a lilt to it. And I'm just like, yeah. You're still Irish at heart. It's wonderful. I love it. But
on the other spectrum of what's going on in Overwatch League preseason started yesterday. It's going all week. Continues in 15 minutes.
Those guys are nuts.
It's crazy. I watched the LA Valiant and San Francisco Shock game last night, like as it happened live, and then I watched the Seoul Dynasty in Shanghai this morning. Didn't catch Florida Mayhem and San Fran Shock, but that was supposed to be Philadelphia. But Philadelphia opted out of preseason because a lot of their players still don't have visas. And one of their players has been banned for the entirety of the preseason, as well as the first 30 games for boosting. Other people's accounts. Yeah. Philadelphia Fusion, not a great start for you. So San Francisco Shock took their place in their first match against Florida Mayhem, which San Francisco won handily, 3-1. But again, I didn't watch it. And then the next game after that was LA Valiant and San Francisco. It was so good. It was so close. It was just back and forth and back and forth. Like the Valiant took the first game, San Fran took the next two. Then the Valiant won the last game, which put them into the tiebreaker round. And it was crazy. Both teams were fighting so desperately to win. That is probably going to be a rival. As much as I was joking last night about they're like, we've got a budding rivalry here on the stage. It's like, this is the first time these teams have played each other ever, really. So I don't know if you can really call it a budding rivalry, but because it's like San Francisco, Los Angeles, and they're just so evenly matched, it's probably going to be a rivalry.
Rivalry's got to start somewhere.
And I'm looking forward to... I'm going to be cheering on the Shock next time they face off.
Were they doing the whole thing at the Blizzard Arena?
Yes, the whole thing's at the Blizzard Arena, which is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Oh
if
my
you get
gosh.
this, definitely watch some tonight. And then Seoul just stomped Shanghai. And it was, yeah, they got stomped. But yeah, also all the competitive skins that they're using, these team jerseys, all of the home versions are going to be available for players to get in Overwatch next year. Or in the new year, yeah. But to get them, they're inventing a new currency called... I don't remember what they call it.
Do you have to like watch your team play so you can?
I don't know. I don't know how you earn them. They haven't talked about how you earn, but you're going to be given enough of the coins or whatever at the start of the year if you log into Overwatch for that first month to buy a skin. So you'll be able to get one right off the bat. And I don't know if it's like you buy like the team and you get the whole set, or if it's like you can buy like the Boston Uprising skin for Soldier 76. Or if it's like that.
I don't know.
I don't know how that's going to work, but it's cool that you'll be able to get them anyway, so you can still like rep your team in Overwatch.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing there, I feel like it would be smart if they did it like if you watched your team, you would get the currency you use to buy.
That's a theory.
Yeah.
That's a theory. Any of the currency you spend is also going to go to support your team, so it's not like just going into
that's a really cool idea
into Blizzard's pockets. It's going to actually support the team you're buying the skins for.
Yeah, that's really cool, and that's like a good way to support your team and rep them. And
yeah,
I think
get skins.
I think they've been doing like a really good job making Overwatch League like a real like I don't want to say a real sport,
a real thing.
Like a real thing.
They want to make it like a real sport.
Right, and I get that. They want to bring, like, esports into, like, a public eye and be like, yo, this is a real thing that people actually love, and you should, like, pay attention to it more. Yeah, I think that, and I think Overwatch League has done a really good job of doing that.
Yeah, and then today's games, which start in 10 minutes, consist of, the first game is going to be the Los Angeles Gladiator against the London Spitfire. London is heavily favored to win because they have some of the best players in the game on their team, and I think they might just have a whole team. Like they were a team prior, and then they became the London Spitfire.
Gotcha.
I think it might be Cloud9. I think Cloud9 just became the London Spitfire, or some of their best players are from Cloud9. I don't remember. I don't know the details. Then we'll have Dallas Fuel versus the Houston Outlaws at 7. So that's a rivalry. Like
the Houston Outlaws, I dig it.
Before we even like start the season, you know Dallas and Houston are rivals. It's just how it's going to be. And then the last game is the New York Excelsior and the Boston Uprising, which is I was just reading their like predictions for the night. It's going to be interesting because they took two very different approaches for building their teams. Mm-hmm. New York Excelsior just bought a team. Mm-hmm. Like they just bought like a South Korean team, and that's the New York Excelsior. Where the Boston Uprising, they like got pieces of like coachable players, and they're much more like built as a traditional sports team would be, that they like got these different people who they think will work well together. So it's going to be really interesting to see the difference between like people who have been playing together for, well, since this game became an esport, and people who are really just getting started on being a team.
So
for that, I'm going to continue to root on the Boston Uprising. Boston's my team.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Any more? Anything else that anyone wants to share before we wrap things up for the day?
Got some stuff about PUBG update.
Yes. Tonight at the Game Awards, PUBG is showing off the new map.
Desert map.
Yeah, the new desert map.
Miramar.
And they said that they were going to release that before they did the full release of the game, or that was going to be with the full release of the game.
As far as I know, it's before the full release. However, I was on the PTR or the public test server yesterday, and they had like vaulting and all this other stuff that was updated.
Did they make the vaulting not broken?
Yeah, it's actually I enjoyed it.
Good.
And they updated a bunch of sounds. They optimized everything.
Finally, they finally
bombs are
optimized everything.
A little loud, but they sound really good.
You mean the red zone bombs?
Yeah, the red zone bomb.
Yeah.
With the desert map update, where it looks like we're going to be getting like 3 new weapons.
Cool.
Looks like.
Yeah, I saw something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're also adding a jet ski.
Winchester and a sawed-off shotgun.
Oh my god. I will be all about the Winchester and the sawed-off shotgun. Those both sound hilarious.
We're also getting a
Cowboy
jet
hats
ski.
to go with the 6-shooter Winchester and sawed-off shotgun.
That'd be great.
I do
They
think
do
that,
really
well, I think they're adding some more stuff. I think there's a bandana I know that they're adding, and some boots. Like, I don't know. I would have to look it up, but they are adding a lot more clothing options with the update.
I know they're adding the best vehicle ever.
The VW
The jet
minibus.
ski?
Yeah, that's right.
VW minibus.
Yeah, I can't wait
I'm
to
excited. I might
party
actually play
around the
that game
desert
in-
in a VW.
Just last note, I might play that game again. The Rockstar's releasing a new heist for GTA.
Ah, that's right.
yes.
Yep.
Finally, a new real heist. The Doomsday Heist.
Yeah,
When
where
is it
apparently
coming out?
someone is setting off a nuke somewhere in Los
Mount
Santos,
Chiliad.
and you have to
Yeah.
find
have to-
it and disarm it and
We
stop
have
them.
to stop them. I'm excited.
Cheat.
When is that
Like,
coming out?
December 12th, along with Overwatch's winter stuff.
Agent 47 needs to deal with his own stuff. That's all I'm saying.
true.
Like, Agent 47 needs to quit calling on people to deal with stuff for him.
Yeah,
He needs to get
it's
it
true.
done.
He'll probably just be like, you know what? There's a guy trying to blow it up. It's all your problem. I'm gonna go relax in this.
You guys have the real expensive stuff around here. I feel you want to know in saving your stuff.
There will be 10 setup missions, each more grueling than the last. And then one
Oh, and they're gonna
final
make it have
heist,
to be a
nearly
criminal
impossible.
mastermind. So now you have to do this one too.
Oh my god, that'd be terrible.
That would be terrible.
But hey, if
I've
they
never
just
even gotten through the second heist on Criminal Mastermind.
if they just gave you like a cool 5 million for beating the Doomsday heist, I'd be chill with that. Like if they
probably
could
will.
give us like a big
Split
chunk of
4
money for
ways.
that, I'd be into it.
They probably will, but it'll be split 4 ways.
I don't
That's
care.
still like
But then every time you
1.2
die-
million.
Million,
That would be
Every
terrible.
time what?
probably.
Like the bottom cutoff is like $1 million, so you only end up getting like two,
So, which is
250
to be fair,
apiece.
that's the
Even then-
top of the Pacific Standard.
That's
The
true.
cutoff for pack standard's like 550, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
The cutoff is
I mean-
550, but the max is a mil.
Everything in
Yeah.
that game is so expensive.
It's true.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, adding another heist, that'll be fun. Except it's going to cost like $4 million to set up, I'm sure.
That's probably. Could you imagine? I need you to pay $4 million to rescue the city.
Yeah, that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be.
Lordy. Okay. Well, good stuff. Anything else?
That's
all I got.
it.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up for the podcast this week then. So thank you all for joining us for another podcast. Joe, do you have anything you want to share? Any shilling you want to do? For yourself
Who
or
knows? Maybe
others?
I'll make videos someday again.
Fair enough.
When World of Warcraft patch 7.3.5 drops, I'll be back. Joharic will continue his quest through Tanaris.
I'm excited. Kofi, do you have any streams
lie to
coming
me.
up that you want to share?
I've been streaming Rust recently, so if any of you are
right.
interested in that, I'll probably be playing tonight because the official servers are being wiped tonight.
Why?
Why?
Because that's just his server just wipes every Thursday.
No. The official servers wipe
Oh.
every month.
Oh,
And with you can have upwards of 200 people on a server. So if you have
wow.
that many people, and if you just like split that into like 5, just imagine how many mini bases you'll find around a small map.
that'd be cool.
So they
It's
just
a
like
little
like
crowded.
wipe it, and then they're just
Yeah,
like
just
everyone has to build
Once a
something
month,
new
they just
now.
reset.
Whew.
It basically just resets everything, and everyone starts from the start.
Goodness.
Part of the game.
Well, as for me, of course, I'll be having a new Hanging with Janky coming this week. I've been playing Ori and the Blind Forest, so
Love that game.
Yeah, it's so cool. I'll be streaming that again on Tuesday next week, so you guys can come and chill with that. I have to find the last two power-ups. I cannot remember where those trees are, but I have to find them so that we can explore
Are these
around a bit before I finish
Are
out the
these the
game.
definitive edition power-ups, or are these the
Yes.
actual ones from the original game? Okay.
Yeah, it's the one that triggers like all the secret doors. You know, there's that one you have to get to like hit the
Okay.
switches to trigger the
I
doors.
never actually beat the definitive edition.
Okay. Well, the
I
point
only
is
beat the
that
regular one.
I'm working on it.
Did you get the like dash one though?
No. I need to find it. Where is that? What?
That
we'll
one's
talk
so
later.
easy. That's the yeah. You
We'll
can
talk
get that's the first that you can get that one before any other one in the.
What? Okay, fine. You can tell me
Well,
about it.
you have to get
No,
the
Joe. Let me finish the podcast and we will talk about it. Okay. Other than that, tonight I was going to stream some Getting Over It, which is apparently one of the most grueling games on the face of God's green earth. You are trying to mountain climb to the philosophical ramblings of the developer, and there are no progress checkpoints, so you just have to make your way up this mountain over and over. It'll be great. That'll start at like 10 o'clock tonight, so you guys can tune in and hang out with me while I beat my head against a wall. And other than that, I think that's all I'm doing. So I think that's pretty much everything. Thank you all again for joining us. If you happen to be catching this on YouTube, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, all that junk that you should do that I just sound lazy about. And I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or whenever you happen to be watching. Thank you all so much for watching. And until the next time, this is Joe and Kofi and Janky signing out. Scritches for the kitten. Scritches for the kitten. Yeah. Kitten scritches. What?